know it's a Saturday evening, but just give me 45 minutes to 1 hour, and I am sure that you'll have a good time. So, as you can see, the topic of today's webinar is Navigating Excellence Student Life in Germany. So basically, today I am not going to talk about the admission procedures. I'm not going to talk about what steps the students have to take, from India to Germany to get admission into a university. I am going to give you the student perspective of the things. I myself, first of all, my name is Soham Mukul Chimote. I'll introduce myself shortly. Uh, so I myself, I'm a student in Germany. Like I'm doing my bachelor's right now, and I've been through all those processes that you might go through if you decide to study in Germany. I've had those experiences. I've had those, problems. I have worked for it and I've solved those. Whatever questions you might have about life in Germany, I have the answer because I have been in Germany for almost 4 years now. So I can give you a good perspective into what you can expect there. All right, so I'll just start. By the way, you can write down your questions in the chat. I will look at those questions in between the slides, and there will also be some time at the end if you have some questions. So at the end, if you have some academic questions as well, the director of Astute Academy would be joining us, and he would be able to answer those questions as well. So you're covered for that. Don't worry. Okay, I'll start then officially. So today's agenda, as I told you already, that I'll be giving you guys a glimpse of what it is like to be a student in Germany. So basically, these are the topics that would be covered. First of all, the academic endeavors, the social life in Germany, discovering Deutschland. Deutschland is another name for Germany. Networking, the relations that actually matter, and a day in life of a student in Germany. So basically, these are the topics that I would be covering today. So, a brief introduction about myself. My name is Soham Mukul Chimote. I am from Nagpur, Maharashtra. I am 22 years old and currently I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree in business and engineering from the University of Applied Sciences, Würzburg, Schweinfurt. It is located in a small town called Schweinfurt. Its main campus is in Würzburg, but the study field that I study in is in the small town of Schweinfurt. Currently, I am in my last year of my bachelor's. Like I've completed all my subjects, and I will be moving on with my bachelor thesis, and will soon be getting my degree. Uh, During this course of 3.5, 4 years of my university, I have encountered lots and lots of students, and I've talked to them. They've shared their problems, and I've helped them in solving them. For example, accommodation, visa issues, visa extension issues, part-time job issues, and whatnot. So rest assured, I do have some experience in that regard. Uh, Work experience, the most important thing that I mentioned right now, I might not have professional experience, but the student jobs that you talk about, I do have those. Like everybody who comes to Germany to study or anywhere abroad for that regard does work part-time or does work full-time apart from the university to support their expenses, right? Because living in abroad is not at all easy, and it can be very heavy on your pocket or your parents' pocket. So most of the students try to get into a part-time job, try to get a full-time job, but they face a lot of issues, and I will be addressing those and giving you some tips and tricks on how to get into jobs and stuff. I've also traveled across Europe. I've traveled across Germany. I've indulged in the culture a lot. I know what the German culture is right now. I know how things work in Europe. So I'll also be covering that part. First of all, I'll give you a brief introduction, like the basic academic information. I'll not be going into detail. So as you can see, 75% of the I have only divided the universities into two parts, public and private. I won't go into the nuances because that is not important right now. So basically, there are around 350 public universities in Germany and 120 private universities. And together, they offer more than 17,000 study programs. So they range in different aspects, like for example, engineering, management, arts, commerce. What am you think about, like music, everything. You got everything there. So these 17,000 programs are divided into all those aspects. These are some exams that exams or certifications that might be important to you. The IELTS certificate is for the English proficiency. It depends from university to university what the exact band score you require. You could also give the TOEFL exam. It does not matter. Goethe Institute is the official, not the one of the official German language certificate providers. So if you ever want to give an exam, you can go to them. Uh, you guys might have heard about Test AS. It is a compulsory preliminary assessment examination for people who want to apply for bachelors. So it is important to for your visa and everything. Also, you might have heard about the blocked account. Blocked account is basically a year worth's living expense that the parent has to block for its child. For example, right now it is 934 euros per month, so it amounts to around 11 to 12,000 euros per year. So it is basically 11,000 euros blocked into account, and the student gets 934 euros per month for their living expenses. So this is because the German government wants to ensure that the student is not a liability on the government of Germany in case of any financial troubles or stuff like that. And also they want the student to maintain a certain standard of living because that's how the country is, right? So this is some basic information. So I'll be now directly diving into the student jobs. So as you can see here, I've written 120 full days, 240 half days. What's that? So this is basically uh, a common rule set by the government of Germany that these are the amount of days or these are the amount of hours that a student is allowed to work in an academic year when he or she is enrolled in a university. So 120 full days means a full day is 8 hours of shift and half day is 4 hours of shift. So basically, legally, you can work for 128-hour shifts per year, or you can work for 244-hour shifts per year. Or they could adjust their timings like 6 hours and 7 hours, but at the end, it should not exceed this, the one that is given here. Exceptions are there are semester holidays and stuff. So during the semester holidays, you can work as much as you want. It is not counted in the number of given days. So you can work more. So 240 half days plus the amount you work in your semester break. So that's how it works. So me myself have worked in a lot of companies over these years, and I started off by selling burgers in McDonald's actually. Then I went on to deliver newspapers in Mine Post. Then working labor jobs in Amazon, like packing packages and stuff. I've also worked in Cune Logistics, which is a pickle packaging company. So during working in these, I realized that these are layman jobs. Like you have to work very hard for these jobs, and it is not at all easy. Like you have to work 8 hours, you have to pick heavy stuff, you have to pack those, and it is not at all physically easy on you. It is a very difficult job, and to do this along with studies, it is horrific. And most of the people have to do these jobs because they don't speak German, and that is a major issue with the people, the immigrants that come from abroad to Germany. So basically, they don't take the effort, I must say, to learn German. That is why they get into these jobs which don't require a lot of communication. And not requiring a lot of communication basically means labor jobs. So you won't get like easy going jobs and stuff like that. And these are not also well paying. So what I did was when I was in India, I completed my B1 level of German. So basically there are 6 levels of German, basic levels: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. I did my B1 level when I was in India, and when I moved to Germany for my first year, I slowly started to get used to things, and I understood that if I want to stay here longer, I need to learn German. So then I did my B2 level, and I also took classes for my C1 level, but I don't have the certification as of yet. So once I, stayed in Germany for a year, for example, I spoke to a lot of people. I did these jobs. I got to know Germans, and I got comfortable with the language. And once I got comfortable with the language, I thought, why should I work in these labor jobs? Then I sought different jobs. I went outside. I went to bigger companies. So as you can see, the one on top, Dens Biomarkt, it is a big supermarket chain in Germany. So when I went there, I gave an interview for a marketing position because in Germany there is a thing called working student. So you can have an internship while you are working, right? So because my German was this good and my degree field was related to marketing, they did allow me to have that position, even though 90% of the people of my university tried to get into this position, but just because they don't speak German, they did not get it. So, starting from warehouse management, marketing, supermarket management, I got into these things which are easier on you. Like you, it is a sitting job, it is a computer job, and it is a skill job which comes, which you get only if you learn German, right? If you don't learn German, you have to do these labor jobs, like I told you earlier, like Amazon, McDonald's, Q&A, and stuff like that. So, basically, this again, German language. Why is it important? As I told you, to get part-time jobs is one thing, but as you can read here, most Auslanders don't bother to learn the language and hence face a variety of difficulties. What does this mean? There was an incident took place with me. I went to the foreigner's office to extend my visa, and there was one German lady who was trying to use the computer for some ticketing or stuff, but she did not understand. There were a lot of foreigners there because it was the foreigners authority, but nobody could help her. But because I speak German, I went to her. I asked what was the problem. She told me this is the thing, this is the thing, this is the thing. And I took to the computer, I did the thing, and I helped her. She then was able to do the thing that she came for. She thanked me and she said that you're the first Indian I've ever met who speaks German so well. And she was very impressed with that. After a while, I was searching for accommodation, and I contacted a lady on the ad, and once I went there, I found out this was this old lady, and she did not think twice and gave me the apartment because I left a good impression on her previously. So see how language basically works. Uh, so of course it is important for your career growth because as I told you, most of the people don't bother to learn German, and if you give the effort and learn German, you're already in front of 80% of the crowd, and you are always preferred for positions and stuff where there is a tie. Second is homesickness. Of course, when you go abroad, you live away from your family, and it is very difficult when you for the first time leave your family and go thousands of kilometers away. So, just tell me one thing: if somebody comes to India, for example, if somebody comes to Pune, where it is Marathi dominant city, and does not know Marathi at all, Marathi or Hindi, does not know these two languages, how difficult it would be for him to adjust to live in Pune, right? Similarly, it is with Germany. Because if you don't know the local language, it will take you more time to get adjusted to the surroundings, to know people, to network and stuff like that. And it will take more time to feel like home. So, personally, I only took 1 week to adjust because I spoke German, because I started speaking to people, I got comfortable, I got to know the culture and stuff like that. So it was easier for me than all my colleagues and stuff to get accustomed to the things. Earlier, like in the early stages, you have to do a lot of documentation once you get to Germany. All my friends had to take me with them to the foreigners office because they couldn't fill a simple form because they didn't speak German. So they kind of were dependent on me. So you don't want things when you are living away from your family, right? So this is one thing. Cultural integration, I told you already, it is somewhat related to homesickness because you want to get used to the place you're living in, right? Because it is not just living in going to the university, studying and coming back, you do your degree and go home. No, it does not work like that. You have a life outside the university as well, and if you're not accustomed to it, if you're not comfortable with it, you are not going to last long. And that has an impact on your career as well, because if you don't go out often, if you don't speak to people, you do not network, and you don't get those opportunities that are not posted online. Because I'll get to that later. I'll get to that point later, how networking works, but keep that in mind. I also have networking here, so that is why I mentioned it. Just a second. So yeah, networking right now. So as you can see, I've written networking in general is very important for your personal and career growth, but as a immigrant in Germany, it is more so important. Why? I told you some points earlier, so I'll add to those. Okay. In India, in universities, we have this thing called campus placement. Companies come on your campus and you give the job interviews. You have some seats, for example, 10 seats per company or so, and you get selected and you get placed. But in Germany, it is not like that. Companies don't come to you with jobs. The companies come into your universities. They send individuals to your universities as guest lecturers, guest professors, project leaders, and you work directly under them. And if you impress them, you directly get an offer for a job, for an internship, for a working student, as I told you earlier. So it is not a direct, there is no direct poster that BMW or Audi is coming to hire for a certain position. They send their officials, they send their professionals to take a lecture, to take a week's course or to hire students for a minor project or something like that. And they do that regularly because in Germany, the average age of the population is around 40 to 50 years. So they have a lot of lack of young working professionals, which is why immigration in Germany is easier, which is why to get a visa for Germany, student visa or working visa per se, is easier because they do want younger professionals. So these companies keep an eye on what is going on into their universities. Who are the individuals that could be a right fit for the positions in our company? And they come there to teach lectures, to do the projects, as I told you earlier. They look out for those people. And if you speak to them, if you try to speak to them after the course or try to connect with them, that does leave an impression. You will definitely see a result later. University also organizes such events. For example, there is a thing called job mesa, where it is a bonding evening for company officials and students. So it is not a directly hiring thing. It is a chill evening. Like they'll keep a game night where the company officials and students come and play board games and stuff. Like they'll have drinks and food, and you will just chill in a normal environment. It is like a networking event, not a professional one, a non-professional one, but it does have that impact. If you create that impact, you'll get the results. Also, uh, connecting with the professors. Now, the good thing about Germany is that to become a professor in the university, you need to have a PhD degree, one, and you need to have at least 5 years of working experience in the industry. So just imagine the professors who are teaching you, they know what is going on currently in the in the field. For example, I have one marketing professor who has a startup of his own. So he has a combination of lectures, and he then takes us to a startup lab to work on his own startup. So it is a practical experience that you get. And these people have connections in big companies. These people have leads about job positions and stuff. So if you leave an impression on the professor, if you give that extra effort to stay after the lecture and talk to the professor about topics and stuff, it will create an impact. Because I personally have got a lot of offers. I have a lot of offers for engineering positions, but I'm not interested in engineering. As I told you, I'm interested in marketing. But because I talked to the professor well, because I created that impact, I got ahead of other people, and also I spoke German, which 90% of the people don't. So combining all those things, this I would say is the mantra for success for a student in Germany, 100%. And also, last but not the least, use the power of social media. Please, on LinkedIn, you will find all the professors. On LinkedIn, you will find all the alumni. Also on Facebook, you will get the email IDs from LinkedIn. Contact them, talk to them. What is going on in the industry right now? What are the things that you should focus on? Because they have been in your university, they teach in your university, they could give you insights and stuff. You need to put an effort and try to network. And this does work because in Germany there are a lot of job opportunities. right now, as you might know, there is a recession going on across the world. Still, Germany is hiring because I told you there are a lack of younger professionals. And big companies like BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, ZF, SKF, all these companies are looking to hire in the time of recession right now. Just imagine what is the potential. And also, you guys might know the German public universities don't charge fees, so it is just plus points one after another. And if you amongst these opportunities learn German, I guarantee you that you will be successful in your career because it just puts you ahead of everybody. It just puts you ahead. It gives you an edge in front of everyone. I'll take a look at the chat once. Just a second, guys. Kutub is asking which app or YouTube channel is best to learn German language level A1. Kutub, you could simply search on YouTube how to start learning German for beginners and stuff, and you can take a look at those videos. But I would highly suggest you to at least for the A1 level to join a German class locally or any big institute or stuff because I think you need that support once you if you to start because it is a different language, right? So for A1, I think you should join a class and then you can take a decision. You can buy the books, you can from YouTube, from online content, you can sit and learn. There's no problem. Uh, is diploma considered at Germany? Guys, these technical questions, if it is possible, let's keep it for the end uh, because Mr. Mukul Chimote will also be joining us at the end and he'll answer your academic questions as well. How did you learn German? Please tell me what to do. Exactly like I told you earlier, that I did my B1 level first in Nagpur. There was a local teacher, and I learned from her so that my bases are strong. And after that, I did self study. I talked to people in Germany. And once you go to Germany, you speak a lot of German, see the words, and then you get used to it. So I would highly suggest join a class immediately if you have the time. Keep German your first priority, and at least learn German till B1. I'll take the other questions later. I'll continue with my presentation for now. Second. Social life. Now, I talked about serious things, okay, till now, like how you network, how to find jobs and stuff like that. But as I told you earlier, you are not going to stay at the university 24/7. It does not work like that. It is not like you wake up, you go to the university, you get home. No, you got to have a social life. And that has some networking aspects as well in it. But for longevity, you do need to have fun. And you cannot ignore that fact. And Germany covers you in that regard as well. So as you can see here, these are some photos of some. This is a university party that took place. I think this is from the Technical University of Munich. The middle picture is from Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is a famous festival that takes place it is called Oktoberfest, but it takes place in September. The third picture you can find out it was an open garden festival that a university organized. And the fourth picture is the board game evening that I told you about, the networking event. So these events do take place. And everything that you are looking for, you will find it in your university. And I'll tell you how. I'll just show you my university's. Just a second. I'll show you some Instagram pages. So this is Campus Kreis. This organizes events and stuff in my city, Schweinfurt. So you just follow the Instagram page and you get to know what is going on. So for example, college house parties, crew night, upcoming events and details and stuff like that. So uh, this for example for the social life, but also got you covered for the networking events and stuff. Uh, just a second. So there is a thing called Vekram. in my university. So Vecrom is basically a startup lab that my university has created, and they constantly give out opportunities, courses, jobs, internships apart from the classes in the university. It is sponsored by the German government. So, for example, join us. We are see the first post you see is for hiring. Join us. We are looking for you. It is for some engineering job. These are some events that take place. For example, this is the wood cutting event, and these are all certified. Huh, by the way, these are not just fun and games. It is properly certified by the government of Germany. Startup games. So these are games that teach you, give you a glimpse into the life of startups and stuff. Uh, the Vacrom recently represented my university in an event in Mexico, and the Gründen you can see here. This is from that event. Now, background again, you can see these people. These are all course participants. That so anything related to startup, business, engineering, everything is taught in the university as well, and the practicality is also given. Because, as I told you, there is a lot of funding to these universities because these professionals, the companies, are looking for young professionals from the university, and they are ready to put in the money. The German government is ready to invest the money in the university so that these individuals get the optimum opportunities, they get the optimum exposure, and they are ready to get into the career side of the things. I'll continue with my presentation. So, apart from that, discovering Germany. So, as you can see, programs like Erasmus. Erasmus, what is Erasmus? Erasmus is a initiative taken by the European Union, which connects all the universities across Europe. So you have this facility to take one semester or 2 semesters in any of these universities just to get an experience, just to get an exposure, just to know how these things work in different universities and stuff. So this is an initiative which is sponsored by the European Union. Even 70 to 80% of your living expenses are sponsored by them. And around 75 to 80% of the universities don't charge you fees for these semesters. So see, every box is checked. They are taking a lot of effort for the students, so that the students get the exposure, so that the students are ready for the career side of things, because they need these young professionals. And they are not kidding when they say that they need them, because you can clearly see the effort that they're putting in. Second thing, you see this D ticket. This is a Deutschland ticket. Germany recently launched a Germany-wide ticket, travel ticket, which costs 50 euros. It is valid for a month, and you can travel anywhere in Germany using public transportation using those 50 euros. Anywhere using trains. You can even go to Austria. You can even go to France. You can even go to Netherlands using this ticket. This costs 50 euros to everybody who wants to buy it. But again, young professionals, young students get an offer in this also. They only need to pay 20 euros for me from the universities. And some bigger universities like Technical University of Munich, they have this completely free of charge because they have the funding, because they want to give every single opportunity to the young students that they can. So if you are planning to go to Germany, this is the time. You can see these photos. Ryanair is a small scale, not a small scale, but a cheaper side airline, which mainly focuses on travel in Europe, and it is also very cheap. Like once I went to Italy, I went to Venice for a couple of days, just because there was a weekend, and my to and fro flight costed only 1,500 rupees inclusive, 750 one way. So this is how cheap travel is in Germany, yeah, in Europe. So, and especially for young people, because if you take your student and housewives is basically your student ID card. You get more discounts. It is Germany's and Europe in general is very, very student friendly. And this is really the time to go to Germany right now. The forest you see here it is Schwarzwald. It is Black Forest. You might have heard of the Black Forest cake. This originates from here. It is an area in Germany. So the last PPT of this presentation. I told you I would wrap it up quickly because I don't want to bore you guys. I just want to give you guys a glimpse. So what does my day in life as a student in Germany look like? So these are some real-time photos from my town Schweinfurt. On the left-hand side, you can see McFit. This is my gym in Germany. In the middle, you can see FSWS, which is my, now it is called THWS, by the way. I'll explain you why. FSWS basically means Fachhochschule Würzburg Schweinfurt. Fachhochschule means University of Applied Sciences. And it is now called THWS because it is now renamed to Technische Hochschule Würzburg Schweinfurt. So Technische Hochschule is Technical University of Applied Sciences. So it has got a upgrade by the German government because of its quality. Because I again told you, they are investing a lot of money just for a robot. We have a robotics course at our university, and they wanted to create a separate campus with labs and stuff for it. And German government has promised 3.5 million euros for the same. Imagine, for just one building in a small town university. So just imagine what kind of funding the bigger universities are getting. The third picture is my supermarket. It is my favorite supermarket in my town. It is called Kaufland. You get everything here. यहाँ पे तुम्हें रोटी भी मिल जाएगी, यहाँ पे तुम्हें चावल भी मिल जाएगा, यहाँ पे तुम्हें सब्जियां सारी मिल जाएगी. You get everything. Food is not an issue in Germany at all, even for vegetarians. I am a pure vegetarian. I don't eat egg. You have Indian stores in every city. तुम्हें जो चाहिए वो मिलेगा. You get paneer, you get masalas, you get paste, you get everything. So if you plan to cook, if you learn cooking and go, because I learned cooking because I knew that I'm not going to eat outside all the time, because first of all it's very expensive. Second of all, the options for vegetarians are very less. So basic cooking तो सबको करना ही पड़ेगा जाते वक्त. So जो भी मम्मी पापा लोग देख रहे हैं, खाने का कोई इश्यू नहीं है. So you can be rest assured कि there will be no problem. This picture here is my favorite falafel place in my town. So falafel is a vegetarian dish, Mediterranean dish. The middle picture is my favorite restaurant in Schweinfurt, and the last picture is the park that we usually chill in. So what does my day in life look? I basically wake up and I go to the gym, have a workout done, and then I go to the university. The university generally has 2 or 3 lectures per day, like it lasts for 1.5 hours. So in total, around 4.5 to 5 hours lectures take place. In the middle, we daily have some networking event or something. Like in the common area, there would be a gathering, there would be some event, would be some debates, there would be some people coming from outside who want to invest in your startup idea or something like that. So that's what takes place. And then if I have my job scheduled that day, so generally, as I told you, I worked in dense biomark. So my work timings were so for example, 4 to 5 hours a day I used to work. So generally they were in the evening because मेरा यूनिवर्सिटी रहता था और उसके बाद मुझे काम करना पड़ता था. So मैं यूनिवर्सिटी से जाता था और मैं 4-5 घंटे के लिए आई यूज टू डू माई शिफ्ट इन दैट सुपरमार्केट. और मैं फिर वहां से निकलता था. एंड देन आई यूज टू गो आउट विथ माई फ्रेंड्स टू अ रेस्टोरेंट लाइक दिस, or to eat some food, or if I wanted to chill, I just went to the park. And in the evening, I used to get home. I used to sit on my laptop and I used to open social media. I still do. I'm actually in India right now for my holidays. I'll be leaving in 15 days again. I'll be going back. So after that, जब मैं घर आता था, after doing all these things, I used to open my laptop, open LinkedIn, open my university website, because daily कुछ ना कुछ opportunities post होती थी. Either a seminar taken by a big official in BMW, or a working student position, or an internship, or a student assistant required. Because continuously कुछ ना कुछ opportunities come up students के लिए, क्योंकि they get the funding. उनको कोई problem ही नहीं है पैसे देने में. उनके पास पैसे है और उनको younger individuals में invest करना है because उनको जरूरत है. So that is why they invest the money, so that the students get the opportunity. Universities, once you enter the university, just look at the common areas. वहां पे बड़े बिल्डबोर्ड्स रखे होते हैं, उसमें प्लेकार्ड्स लगे होते हैं. यहाँ पे एक इंटर्नशिप अवेलेबल है, यहाँ पे एक स्टूडेंट पोजीशन अवेलेबल है, यहाँ पे एक बड़े एग्जीक्यूटिव का वेबिनार सेमिनार हो रहा है, एक टूर ऑर्गेनाइज हो रहा है बीएमडब्ल्यू के बड़े वाले शोरूम में. एडिडास और नाइकी, एडिडास नाइकी प्यूमा, जो तीनों जर्मन ब्रांड, आई डोंट थिंक नाइकी है, एडिडास और प्यूमा जर्मन ब्रांड है, ये कंपनी विजिट ऑफर कर रहे हैं. सो ये एंड डेली दिस हैपेंस. यू जस्ट नीड टू बी ऑन द लुकआउट. एंड ये सब अपॉर्चुनिटीज के बीच में, इफ यू नो जर्मन, तो जस्ट इमेजिन, बिकॉज एज आई टोल्ड यू, आप ऑलरेडी आगे चले जाते हो 70% ऑफ द क्राउड के। तो आपने देखा होगा, मैंने आधा तो जर्मन के बारे में भी बात किया है, बिकॉज जर्मन अगर आप सीखोगे तो आप सक्सेसफुल होगे। इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू लर्न जर्मन। एंड मतलब लोग बोलेंगे कि कोर्स के लिए नहीं लगता है, पर आई वुड से तुमको सीखना पड़ेगा। तुमको सीखना चाहिए नहीं, तुमको सीखना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि इफ द पेरेंट्स आर इन्वेस्टिंग दिस अमाउंट ऑफ मनी, यू नीड टू मेक श्योर कि यू आर मेकिंग the best, you're taking the best out of everything. And if you learn German, I'm quite sure that you will get successful. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can ask them to me. Thank you so much for bearing me for the past 45 minutes, I guess. No, I don't know. No, for 40 minutes or something. So if you have any questions, you can write that in the chat, or you can ask me. If you have any questions related to academics and stuff, we have our director, Mr. Mukul Chimote, present. He can answer your questions in that regard. If you have any questions regarding this to this webinar or something related to student life, I'm there to answer right now. So go ahead. And also, just one second, please. We have got the contact information right here. आप ये note down कर सकते हो. So these are the two numbers that you can. I'm sorry. Just one second. So these are the two numbers that you can contact for to get in touch with Astute. This is the website, and this is the Instagram page.
Correction, sir.
And right in the bottom, you can see the address for the Nagpur office. So you can, don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. And now I'm ready for your questions. Please, I'm looking at the chat right now, but if you have any questions, I'll answer those meanwhile.
Good evening, everybody. So this thanks Soham. This was the initiative specially taken for the giving an idea regarding the German education system and life there from students' perspective. So it was very nice listening to Soham.